The holidays are coming. You're hosting or you have to bring something to a party. Stress is high, time is low, but I got you. These 3 recipes look and sound fancy, but these are all quick, easy, no-cook recipes which do not need to be reheated. And they taste so good that people won't even notice that they're vegan and healthy. I'm Jem, and let's get cooking.
The first recipe we're going to make is this tomato carpaccio. I always cut my onions first in any recipe because otherwise the paper skin might stick to a wet cutting board. So let's start by slicing your red onion. Then thinly slice your tomatoes. To slice the tomato, you want to slice it crosswise, so like this, and not like this, which would be called lengthwise. You can see here how different they look, just by how the tomato was positioned differently as you cut. Be sure to get the freshest, ripest tomatoes, because the fresher the ingredients, the better it tastes. Now for some extra protein, mix some nutritional yeast with your hummus for that added cheesy flavor. This one is optional though, so feel free to skip it if you don't have nutritional yeast. And now, plating time. Arrange your tomatoes either around the plate to resemble a Christmas wreath, or just fill your plate completely because the more food you have, the better. Then layer up with those red onion slices. Now dollop about 1 teaspoon each of hummus around the tomatoes. Now all this plating is making me feel like I'm an artist, so if you're also feeling it, let's make it pretty by adding the hummus evenly, filling in the empty spaces in your tomato carpaccio. For the dressing, we'll use some balsamic glaze, which usually comes in a squeeze bottle like this. By the way, balsamic glaze is thick, so it's different from balsamic vinegar, which is very runny. But since the balsamic glaze is basically a reduction of the vinegar, you can also DIY this because maybe you can't find a glaze in the supermarket, or because you just don't want to buy another sauce bottle since you have no more space in your pantry, because I've been there. Anyways, to make that, just simmer some balsamic vinegar on low heat for about 5 to 10 minutes until it reduces to about half in volume and becomes thicker and stickier in consistency like this. So now, drizzle the balsamic glaze neatly, not like what I was doing over here, and sprinkle some basil leaves on top. The #1 rule to a great plating is to never skip the garnish, so I played by the rule and even over-delivered by adding more Italian herbs such as dill and parsley just because I happen to have them. The last step is to finish off with some freshly ground black pepper, and that's all. This one is done in like 10 minutes. You're welcome. Now in the second recipe, we'll step up our plating game. But don't worry, this beef tartare is still gonna be an easy one. First up, peel and finely mince your red onion or shallot. Transfer to a big bowl and finely mince your beets. Since we're all about convenience, get some pre-cooked beets which come in a package like this. Let me warn you to wear your apron, or if you don't have one like me, just don't wear anything white while doing this, because chopping beets can look a little bit bloody, in a good way though. Because that bright color comes from all the antioxidants, so that's some good stuff. To speed things up, you can also use a food processor for your beets. But in both cases, be sure to really finely mince them so the flavors blend well together and so that they'll hold up when you're plating them later. Once that's done, roughly mince your capers, which will pack that salty umami flavor. Dump them into the bowl, and now let's talk about the sauce. Easy peasy. Just add some mustard, maple syrup, and balsamic vinegar. Yes, that's the stuff we were talking about just now. You can also use red wine vinegar or lemon juice, but the balsamic vinegar has a deeper, richer taste.
Plus, if you're also making the tomato carpaccio, just get 1 balsamic vinegar for both recipes. Unless, of course, you want to save time and prefer not to DIY your balsamic glaze, which I can totally understand.
So now, add about 2/3 of your chopped parsley and sprinkle a generous amount of black pepper, or just a bit of course if you don't like that black pepper kick. Now all you have to do is to mix everything together and voila! You can let it marinate overnight, which means it's perfect for you to prep ahead or serve it right after. But as with any other recipes that look good, plating is important. So let me show you 2 easy ways to plate this.
The first one is the classic plating of beef tartare, and you would need a culinary ring for this. Or be creative and use like an empty can that is cut out on both ends using scissors or something like that.
So let's first layer your plate with some arugula or ricotta, and then place the culinary ring in the middle. Spoon in your beef tartare and lightly pack using the back of your spoon. Now add a layer of either yogurt, quark, which is a thicker version of yogurt, which, by the way, I have a recipe for in my blog here. Or if you're a fan of feta, this is your permission to splurge on a vegan feta cheese. Here I'm using some quark since it holds its shape better than yogurt. Now, Since we never skip the garnish, add the remaining parsley and some chopped walnuts for both the looks but also the taste. And now, the moment of truth. Take out the culinary ring slowly and ta-da! Gorgeous, huh?
Okay, knowing that not all of you have a culinary ring lying around, because I didn't and had to get one just for this recipe, I also made another version to plate without this ring.
For the second version, dollop a heaping spoon of yogurt on your plate, then use the back of the spoon, making sure that the spoon really touches the plate before you make this little curve, just like this. And trust me, it's that easy. The only tip I have is that if your yogurt is a bit lumpy, be sure to give them a good mix first, because otherwise you might end up like what I had here at first. Anyways, once you've gotten this neat little trick, add some arugula on the side. Then just spoon in your beet tartare on top of the arugula and add your crackers. As always, never skip the garnish, so sprinkle some of that walnuts and parsley again. Now I know you're excited to try this plating already, but you wouldn't want to miss my third recipe.
We've come full circle in this video because now we're making another carpaccio recipe, but this time with a sweet tropical twist.
Anyways, we'll start by toasting our coconut chips or coconut flakes. You can either do it in a pan or bake them for 2 to 3 minutes at 355 Fahrenheit. They burn easily, so definitely start low on your baking time and make sure that you take them out of the oven right after, because otherwise they will continue cooking and you might risk burning them, which I was pretty close to this time. Since this video is all about easy, we'll use canned pineapples. Be sure to get the sliced pineapples and not pineapple chunks. Of course, you're welcome to use a fresh one, but to be honest, I don't even know how to peel a fresh pineapple because they look intimidating. Anyways, drain your pineapple and slice each of them into 2. Then arrange your pineapple slices in a circle around your plate, again resembling a Christmas wreath. Now cut your berries into smaller chunks about the size of half a blueberry. Sprinkle the berries on top. For the dressing, we'll first grate our ginger or finely mince them like what I did here. Then we'll thinly slice our mint leaves. Then continue to finely mince half of the mint for the dressing, while we'll use the remaining slices as a garnish. Once that's done, mix your coconut yogurt with the grated ginger, finely minced mint leaves, and lime juice. Dollop the yogurt mix either to the middle of the carpaccio, or similar to the tomato carpaccio recipe, you can dollop it around the pineapples and feel like you're an artist again for a minute or 2. The last step is the step that you should never skip. You guessed it, the garnish. Of course. So sprinkle your toasted coconut chips, followed by the sliced mint leaves. And that's it. You're ready to impress. As always, I've linked the full recipes including tips in my blog in the description. For more simple, healthy vegan recipes, click that subscribe button. Happy holidays and see you later!